You know the feeling when you are at home and you have free time, but you know that there is something that you should do. And despite knowing it, despite knowing that there's something that your attention should be on, that you should be grinding, that you should be making progress on, you sit on the couch and you binge watch TV, you binge eat, or you play video games. Right? We have all been there. I've been there. I know you've been there. And this is fundamentally the problem that we have when taking action. Right? Taking action is something that you need to become really good at if you want to actually make progress in any area of life that you actually care about. Right? The only way that you can get better at anything, can make improvements, get results from anything, is by actually doing it, learning it, and getting the repetitions from it. I'm Andrew Stremmel, and I just help as much as I can in these videos improve your focus and work ethic. And if you want to fast track that, then consider coaching. But with that being said, let's just get back into it. Right. So taking action is the first primary step to actually making any sort of real change in your life that is going to last and actually be a foundation for your life. The problem is that 9 times out of 10, taking action is going to be harder than sitting on the couch and popping on Netflix or eating a bowl of ice cream. Right? And it's also not going to be as appealing as eating a bowl of ice cream and binge watching something or playing video games. But this is simply due to 2 things. It's a framing of your mindset that is just off. And this is a super simple fix that I'm going to show you how to do. And then the other thing is a lack of discipline, which is also something that can be fixed relatively quickly. Right? But first and foremost, let's talk about mindset. When it comes to taking action and all the options that you have, right? All day, right? You have the power to choose. You have the power to choose what to do. You have the power to choose when you do it, what to follow, what not to follow, right? It is all up to you. Whether today's the day that you quit your job or today's the day that you have the best day that you've ever had at your job, right? It's all up to you. And the same thing goes for any sort of minor actions like I said before, either doing the work or sitting on your couch and eating ice cream. Right? It's all comes down to a choice. So the problem is your mindset is not in the state that it needs to be to look at these things in a proper way so that you actually evaluate what is going to be the best for you. Because right now, if you're having these troubles and you're making these mistakes and you're choosing the wrong thing and then you're beating yourself up over it over and over again, if you're in this cycle, then your mindset is far too focused on short term. It's far too focused on what I want right now. What do I want in this present moment? And it's focused most likely around pleasure. What you need to shift is, as much as you can throughout your day, start thinking about the long term. Right? Start thinking about, am I going to remember this decision and appreciate it a year from now? Just think about a year. Right? You can even, if you're really struggling with this, you can even just do a month from now, right? A month from now, if I keep making the same decision, am I going to be happier or less happy? There's a big Marcus Aurelius quote that I'm just a huge fan of, and it goes something like, what cannot make a human being worse cannot make their life worse, but what can make a human being worse will surely make their life worse, right? So if you can keep that type of mindset in your head, then every time you go to reach for the ice cream, you're going to think, number one, this is going to make me worse, right? Physically, it's going to make me worse, right? There's no amount of ice cream that you can eat and it's going to be a positive impact on your health. So, number one, it's going to make me worse. And then in a month, it'll probably make my life worse. Because not only are you choosing to eat that ice cream then, but you're also reinforcing the likelihood that you're going to do it again and again in the coming months. So, have this mindset. Start thinking in the long term. Ask yourself, am I going to be happy with this decision in a month from now, in a year from now? Am I going to be happy with this decision that I'm making, with the days that I'm living? And then, whenever you're considering eating something, whenever you're considering doing an activity, just ask yourself, is this something that can make my life better or worse? Simply, right? You don't have to sugarcoat it. You don't have to try and advocate for something like a lot of people who love to smoke weed all the time. And I used to be one of these people where you're like, it has some health benefits and it's not as bad for you as smoking, and you just keep running down the list of these things, and at the end of the day, you know that it's harming your health and you're just coping, right? You know that it's going to make you worse. So next time you go to smoke, ask yourself and really think about it. Is this going to make my life worse? Is this going to make me and my health worse? And the answer is yes. And in that moment, that is when the change happens. You can decide right then and there to jump back on the wagon, right? To jump back on the weed train or whatever vice you have, or to say no to it and reject it. Right? So the first thing that you need to do is just get into this mindset and make it a habit to whatever things that you're approaching and thinking about doing, analyzing them through this lens of long-term thinking and just, is it going to make me worse or better? Because it will translate into making my life better or worse. The second thing is the lack of discipline. And this is a much easier fix than people make it out to be. Like, straight up, if you have this mindset somewhat, even if you're just starting to work on it, just starting to play around with it, discipline is something that is going to be trained relatively easily and quickly in the beginning, right? The harder the task is, though, the longer it's going to take for you to build up the discipline to be able to do that thing consistently. But for discipline, there is a part of your brain that grows every single time that you do something that you don't want to do. And it makes it easier to do hard things. Realize what I just said there, right? There is literally a part of your brain that grows every time you do something that you don't want to do or that is hard, and it makes it easier in the future. So you want to get good at recognizing every single time that you have that thought in your head that, I don't want to do this right now, or I'll do that later, or just put it off completely and you're just like, I'm just not going to do it. Every time that you have one of those thoughts and that thought flashes through your mind is an opportunity for you to use discipline and build it up so that next time that thought is much easier to fight. That thought might not even pop up after a week. And before you know it, that thing that you've been trying to do, that you've been dreading, that you've been putting off, becomes something automatic and something easy for you. I did this with making videos. Right? Making videos was something that I wanted to do, but I didn't know if I could stick to it. Right? I didn't know if I could consistently make them, and I didn't want to make them all the time. But then I knew that I wanted to help people, right? I wanted to help people. I wanted to grow my channel by helping people and, maybe make some money on the side, by helping people as much as possible, right? With the one-on-one directness. And that made me realize that every time that I was considering making a video and there was, resistance mentally against the idea of making a video, just telling me, dude, don't do it. You don't have to sit here and talk to the camera and help people. You don't have to sit here and talk about your problems and how you overcame them. Just go back to playing video games, right? Every time that happened, I saw it as the opportunity. I said no and I recorded. I sat down and recorded. I didn't hesitate. And now, whenever I get the idea to make a video, I do it, right? Whenever I have the time to make a video, I do it. And that's simply because I grew the discipline around that task to the point where I don't even need discipline anymore. When the time is there and I have something to speak about, I make a video. And that's because that part of my brain grew and adapted, and what I thought used to be something hard and that used to have resistance for became super easy. Same thing can be said about me for the gym. And if you've gone to the gym, or if you go to the gym, you know that after a little bit of time in the gym, it doesn't really take discipline anymore. You enjoy it. You like it. I like making videos right now. I love it. And I love going to the gym too. And I love reading when I have the time. Build up your discipline. Use this long-term mindset. And with the combination of the two, it's going to be nearly impossible for you to not take action. Right? You are going to be an action-taking machine in whatever field that you want. Right? It could be learning a new skill. It could be building a business. It could be just going to the gym. It could be changing your diet. It could be just creating something new and fun that's personal and for you. Whatever hobby, skill, or change you are trying to make in your life, taking action is step one. And this mindset and building your discipline with this type of strategy is literally step by step how you can make it a reality, how you can get better at that thing, how you can grow that thing, and how you can create something that you truly are proud of. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you did. And if you want more personal help with me and help on your current personal situation, then click the first link in the description and schedule a call. And with that being said, I love you all. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. And as always, stay blessed.